Hi, in this video we're going to look at basically how algebra is used with probability tables. So it's quite a common application of algebra where they can merge it with probability. So let's look at the most basic idea first. So here after there's a bunch of probabilities, we need to work out what the odds is guessing are blue. So basic equation, this is like find this angle on a rectangle or triangle. You are going to add together the probabilities you know. And again, for this, you can typically always use a calculator. If not, it's not too hard anyway. And then we know probabilities must always add up to 1. So therefore, to work out the missed probability, you just do 1 take away what you've got so far. And that is the odds that the colour shown will be blue. Next step to go with it is then doing what's called experimental or theoretical probabilities, where you have to estimate how many times the colour will be a certain colour, in this case yellow. To do it, you just do the number of times he plays the game times by the probability of guessing a yellow, and that will give him the expected probability, which in this case will be 12. So that's the most basic idea. We're going to get slightly harder and throw in a little more algebra. So for this question, Mary's thrown a ball at a target, and is the odds of her guessing each possible score. We are then told she is 3 times likely to score 2 points than to score 1 point. So that means this number is going to be triple this number. So in terms of algebra, we have 3x and x, because she is 3 times more likely to get 2 points than 1 point. Now we have an equation. We have 4x plus all these numbers here. Let's add those together. So again, for this, just get your calculator out and just add all these together. So we have 4x plus 0.76, and that must equal 1. Probabilities always add up to 1. Now, sort of like an ordinary equation, we take away 0.76 from both sides. And then we've got 4 lots of x, we want 1 lot of x, so we have to divide this by 4. If we do that, we get x being 0.06. I won't give a part B, because that's a bit harder, and that's not this kind of work here. Next, same idea again. Law is a 4-sided spinner. The spin is biased, means it's not fair, and we are told the probability spin will land on 2 is the same as it will land on 4. In terms of algebra, we can write both of these as x. Now if I'm going to solve this, answer this question, I'm going to work out what x is. So I know 2 lots of x plus these two probabilities, which add up to 0.6 must equal 1. Again, probabilities always add up to 1. We then solve this to work out that x is 0.2. Okay, the question says probability spinner will not land on 1. So if the odds of it landing on 1 is 0.25, then not landing on 1 will be 1 minus that. The odds of it landing on 2, that was just x, which I worked out to be 0.2. So again, these aren't too hard, it's just another way they can throw solving equations at you. Okay, just one more, again, that's a bit different again. So here we have probabilities for 1, 3 and 4, and we want to work out the odds of getting a 2, and that's going to be in terms of x. When it says in terms of x, it's basically the question saying you're not going to solve it, you're going to work out what x is, so x will be in your answer. For this, we know probabilities always add up to 1, as I keep saying, so therefore the probability of getting a 2 will be 1 take away all these probabilities added together. So 1 take away 0.4 take away x. Okay, that's what you can really do. The odds of landing on a 1 or a 4, that is these two numbers, that will be 0.4. And lastly, Denzel spins the spinner 300 times, write an expression in terms of x for the number of times the spinner is likely to land on 3. So to work out the expected probability, as I said earlier, you do the number of trials or spins or tries, in this case 300, times by the probability. So that would just be 300 times x, which we just write as 300x. Okay, just one more question to go through. Again, make sure you're okay with this basic idea. So only red, blue, white and black counters in a bag. We are told the number of white counters is triple the number of black counters. So we have 3 times as many white as black, so it's 3x and x. And same again, we're going to try and solve this to work out probability of getting a white counter. So we know if I add together all my probabilities, they must always equal 1. So I now have 4x plus 0.7 equals 1. So 4x equals 0.3, and then you'd have to do 0.3 divided by 4. That will just give you 0.075. We want the odds of getting a white counter. The odds of getting a white counter is 3 lots of x. So we do 3 times 0.075. And if my maths is right, that will give you 0.225. Last question, 300 counters in the bag. Work out the number of red counters in the bag. So I was getting a red is 0.2. So just do 300 times 0.2, which gives you 60. And that's it. So hopefully with that, you realise there's not too much to be done with it. Just remember the key rules. Always got up to 1, and always use x's or 2x for x's whenever you need to, and that will really help you. Okay, thank you for listening.